everyone. Welcome back. So, my name is Rebecca. I am 54. I always forget to introduce myself, just in case you're new. I am 54, a mother of three girls and a bonus son. Um, all but one is an adult. That one is going to be turning an adult at the end of next month and will be graduating high school and going off to college. So, this channel has turned into, I'm making myself some breakfast, so um, turned into something that I wanted to leave my daughters. Um, my mother passed away, and well, first off, left home when I was 16. My mother passed away when I was 45, I think. So I'd been away from home for quite some time and realized that a lot of the things my mom used to make for me and the little tricks and trades of being able to cook and all that stuff I had forgotten. And so this channel has turned into something that I've wanted to leave my kids so they have it when they start their journey, if they start their journey into cooking at home, raising kids, going through motherhood, womanhood, and all that fun stuff. So you'll see a lot of different things on my channel. I'm very new at this. I don't like speaking in public. I'm not like out there. I say a lot. I say like a lot. My kitchen for the most part will always have dishes in the sink. I'm always running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I have chickens, I have horses, I have dogs, I have cats. And so all of this is just things for my kids or those who didn't have it when they were growing up, or maybe forgot about it. Maybe they did have it and they forgot, or they just need something to watch. I'm entertaining. You'll always hear crazy stories from me, stories about my daughters. But today, what we're going to do is meal prep. Now, I do stay home, I do not work. And even though I have all that time, I am taking care of quite a bit, taking care of my husband, taking care of my daughter, taking care of my also bonus daughter. My daughter's best friend moved in a couple of months ago, so we have her as well. But I sometimes don't like cooking. Sometimes I get way too tired. If you know me, I've got some health struggles going on, going through menopause, and I get tired really easily. And so I don't always want to cook. I will cook, but I don't always want to think of things to cook and think of things to do and be creative and try and keep things, if you're a mother of girls, you know how picky they can be with eating and stuff like that. So I really, really fall hard into prepping, into making marinades, buying your bulk meat, making marinades and sticking it in the freezer, dividing it up and doing all of that, which makes my life 100% easier. So today we are going to be doing some meal prep. I'm burning my sausage. Ow. And oops. So we're going to be doing some meal prep today. I have got some ground beef and pork combo. I've got ground turkey. I've got boneless pork chops, and I have got chicken breast. So we are going to do a bunch of recipes. The first one we're going to start with is going to be a Korean barbecue chicken. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to use plastic baggies. We are going to divide, conquer, get everything into plastic baggies, freeze it, and that way we are good to go and don't have to think about cooking, don't have to, sometimes it's just too much. So that's what we're going to start with. So I hope you join me and I hope you are enjoying your day. It's almost Valentine's Day, as you can tell from the decorations, and which I typically don't do. I don't do Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day decorations and stuff like that, but I'm starting to like it. So here we go. I hope you enjoy and let's see what we can do. Okay, so because we don't have a lot that actually eat meat, and my husband's only here half of the time, I don't do big servings, but you definitely can make this much larger. But what I do first is I trim the chicken, get it into bite-sized pieces that I like, and then we're going to put it in the bag along with our marinade. Our marinade is going to consist of 4 teaspoons hot chili paste. Now I have crunchy garlic chili sauce. If you've never tried this stuff is amazing. I've got my soy sauce, which I've got to pull that out. I've got my onion powder, my ground ginger, water, white sugar, lemon juice. And anytime you use ginger, I get a big thing of ginger and I just stick it in the freezer. And as I need ground ginger, I will always put fresh ginger in it just because it makes the taste a whole lot better. So I'll get some grated ground ginger. And then because we're doing lemon juice, I'm going to use a fresh lemon, but I'm also going to use some lemon rind. Now this recipe is going to be 1 cup white sugar, 1 cup soy sauce, 1 cup water, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon ground ginger and fresh ginger, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and lemon zest, 4 teaspoons hot chili paste. So let's get started. Okay. So let's start off with our 1 cup sugar, which seems like a lot of sugar. 1 cup. I'm going to do 1 cup water. And we're going to let that sit in there and dissolve. Okay. So there you've got that sugar and water in there. I'm just going to crinkle it up before I put my chicken in just so that sugar can start dissolving. I'm also going to add in my soy sauce. Now, my daughter loves soy sauce. She loves Asian food. This is all I have left. So I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to use these packets that I had. That's just, she goes through a lot of soy sauce. Let that get all marinady. All right. And then again, get that all mixed in. And you can use this recipe for pork if you want to put pork in here. Actually, was I going to put pork in here? No. Yeah. I think I'm going to leave it for chicken. Okay. Okay, so we're going to trim out this chicken. Always check your chicken. Sometimes there is a bone in it, especially if you're using chicken breast. You can use chicken thighs with this. But I like getting it to where we like to eat it, getting all those thick tendons out, vessels. And you'll also want to be very, very cautious when you are cooking or get that out. Handling chicken. Salmonella is a real thing. All right. Put these into nice cuts. I think we may have this tonight for dinner. Put this over some white rice. Yeah, I think we'll do that. My husband comes home tomorrow, so it's going to be a busy day. I've got to go and get feed, so it will be a busy day for me. So maybe that might be easier just to have this for tomorrow. All right. All right. I am not the greatest at butchering chicken. I'm literally butchering it. And chicken is the same way as beef. You want to go against the grain when you're cutting it because it makes it more tender. So you're not eating, when you cut it, you're eating smaller pieces technically, as opposed to larger. So this is going to go this way. So I'm going to go this way. I think I need to sharpen my knives. All right, so in here, that is going to be that is marinating. Oh, that is dissolving. Good. Okay, so I think we're going to do, since my bonus daughter does not like it super hot, I am going to do 2 teaspoons of hot chili pepper. Typically, this is going to take 4, depending on how spicy you like it. We'll do 2 heaping teaspoons. A teaspoon of ground ginger. My teaspoon will not fit in there. So 1, 2, 1 teaspoon, excuse me. Tablespoon of onion powder. That chili powder got up my nose. All right, and then we are gonna do lemon juice. And then we'll do this, just gives the fresher flavor. Even if you're using canned or jarred juice or bottled juice, zest will always give you that fresh taste of flavor of lemon. I'm going to save that for my tea later. The fresh ginger. Now, you can peel your ginger if you're using larger pieces of ginger, or you need larger cuts of ginger. Yes, definitely peel it. I don't when I'm just using ginger peel or grated ginger. All those down there. We're going to put our chicken in. All right, so that is tonight's dinner. Get all of this out of the way, and I'll serve that with just a plain white rice. And all you're going to do, if you were to freeze it, get all the air out and go like that. And I always suggest when you're freezing, freeze it flat. So get a cookie sheet. Put your meats on a cookie sheet and flash freeze them like that. That way, when you're taking it out of the freezer and defrosting it, it defrosts faster. As you know, chicken, you've got to defrost it in the refrigerator for like 5 days, depending on how frozen it is. You can't stick it in the microwave just because of salmonella and everything. But it defrosts faster. It's a lot easier to manage. It's a lot easier to store. So just stick it on a cookie sheet and stick it in the freezer, just like that. All right, we're gonna leave that cookie sheet there. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge since this is dinner tonight, and we will get started on the next one. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is ground meatballs. Um, Meatballs are kind of like, sometimes they're dry, sometimes they don't have a lot of taste, sometimes they get overcooked, they get tough, whatever. Um, I don't use beef. I don't use a lot of beef, ground beef in my home unless I'm getting it from the butcher or from somebody who I buy it from, whether they've processed a cow or whatnot. So I use a lot of ground turkey in anything that requires ground beef. I use ground turkey in my chili. I use ground turkey in so many things. My family hates ground turkey because it just never has any flavor. It's so hard to get flavor into it. But I found this recipe. I've tried it. It's fantastic. And I'm going to do ground turkey meatballs with it. The recipe calls for 2 pounds. I'm actually going to do 3 pounds. I'm going to do this whole big old pack into meatballs. I'm going to flash freeze them, and then I'm going to stick them in separate bags, and I'm just going to use them as I need them. You can use them, you can put them in for your spaghetti sauce. You can do spaghetti and meatballs. If you want to do, say you don't have anything ground, and you want to do a spaghetti sauce, a bolognese sauce, you could take these, thaw them out, crunch them up, and then cook them that way. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. You can repurpose food any way you can. Um, Totally, so many different varieties. I'm trying to think of one off bat that I had. Oh, if you are ever making, let's see, where is it? Chicken parmesan or Alfredo sauce, and it requires shredded parmesan. We eat a lot of pizza in this house, so sometimes shredded parmesan isn't there. You can use this instead. Now, this will make it a little bit grainy, so you really have to work it and cook it and get it really cooked down. But you can use this for shredded parmesan in lieu of lots of different things you can do in the kitchen. So now we're going to make our ground turkey meatballs. It's a classic Italian, very basic recipe, and let's get started. All right, we're going to start off by dicing a small onion into small pieces, or if you like big chunks, do it into big chunks. When it comes to meatballs, I personally prefer smaller. And also a quick tip, if you put your onions in the refrigerator, it's a lot easier to cut them without crying. Put that in your bowl. Get it away from your eyes. Okay, so that's going to be, nose is still running. 1 small onion, finely chopped, or as much as your eyes can handle. I'm going to put this ground turkey in here. To add in our breadcrumbs, and we are going to add in 1 1/3 cup. 1. Okay. And the recipe calls for water. Anytime you're doing something with a meat where you have to get a lot of flour into, I always use a broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, either one, but I always use broth just because it adds more flavor to it. Now with this one in particular, we are going to add in 1/4 cup broth. Next is going to be 2 eggs. Just because we have a little bit more in that. Aren't these beautiful? I love rainbow eggs. All right. Okie dokie. So we've got that. We've got our eggs, our breadcrumbs, our onions. We've got our water. We are now going to add in 2 garlic cloves minced. Now, this was the garlic that I processed again at the beginning of the season. Like none left. So I'm just going to use this whole thing. Okay. 2 teaspoons Italian seasoning, 1.5 teaspoons salt. Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and we're going to do 3. And then again, any dry herbs that you use, always put them in your hand, rub them. This wakes up those herbs that have been sitting in that jar or that can, and just makes them more aromatic. The warmth of your hands and the friction from your hands when you do that wakes them up. All right, what else do we have? 1.5 teaspoons salt. And we'll do a full 2 teaspoons. Because again, we've got that 3 pounds of beef in there, of turkey in here. And the last thing is going to be our Parmesan cheese, 2/3 cup. And I'm going to use, actually, 1/2 cup and 1/2 cup. Should have got a bigger bowl. All right, next you're going to do is get in there and get everything mixed. You can use a mixer if you want, but for me, it's usually just easier with my hands. Now, if it's frozen turkey, I will tell you it's going to be very, very cold, or if it's just thawed, it's going to be super cold. You can roll them as big as you want or as small as you want. Just remember your cooking time. So that's pretty good for those meatballs for just 3 pounds of ground turkey. So when you cook this, you're going to be cooking, if you bake them, you're going to bake them in the oven, a preheated oven at 375 for 15 to 18 minutes. If you're going to pan fry them, remember your pan frying is going to flatten your meatballs out. If you're going to put them in your sauce, again, you're looking for a temperature. I would take them out at about 155 to 160, because you're going to have residual heat that's still going to cook them, and that way they're not dry. Try it out. All right. I've got the kitchen reset. I've got those cleaned off. I've got everything disinfected. The meatballs are in the freezer, flash freezing. The next thing I'm going to make is Greek marinade pork chops. Now, my husband loves gyros. He loves them. I love tzatziki sauce. I love making pita bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these boneless pork chops. I'm going to slice them really thin. I may actually not slice them because they're still a little frozen. I'm going to try to slice them. If I can, great. If not, I'm just going to marinate them the way they are. And that way we can use them either on the grill, and you can do just a grilled pork chop. You can put it in a gyro. You can you can do anything with this Greek flavoring. Basically, the Greek flavorings are lemon juice, olive oil, oregano, and basil. That's really all it is. I think there's garlic in it. I can't remember if there's garlic in it or not. But so that's what we're going to do next, okay? All right, so we've got our pork chops here. Okay, so we can get them into strips. So you can cut them into thin strips. Obviously, they will cook faster. A little more oomph on my hand strength. I know Chef Amberelle would be turning in her grave. A, had I knew her, and B, had she seen me cutting like this, she would come over with a red marker. So we're going to put these. Actually, I'm going to wait. No, I'll put them in here. So I'm going to put them inside the baggie now. All right. And these will cook fairly quick when you cook them. All right. My hand's frozen. Okay, so there is that. I think I'll do one more in that, and then I'll keep the other two frozen or in a patty. It's taken a long time for me to realize to not cook. So I used to cook for 5-6 people. Oops. And I was used to cooking big meals and so forth, and it just was having a lot of leftovers. And my husband does not like leftovers. I mean, he does. He will eat them. It's funny because I'll tell him he's a foodie, and he'll say, "No, I'm not." And I'll say, "Yes, you are." And because he does not like leftovers, he'll eat them like one day or maybe the next day for lunch or whatnot. But he does not like leftovers whatsoever. And so I'll tell him he's a foodie, and he's like, I'm not a foodie. But yes, dear, you are. Okay, so we've got 3 pork chops, boneless pork chops in here, cut into shred. These are for gyros. And then I've got 2 chops in here. This will be for if Juliet is at her dad's house, or if it's just me and Rory, or if it's just me and my husband. This will be a good quick meal, so I'll figure out what to do in that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to emulsify our oil and lemon dishes in a bowl. All right, so we're going to do a 1/4 cup of olive oil and a 1/4 cup lemon juice. I've got my basil olive oil here. I'm going to use this because I've been dying to use it. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so I've got my 1/2 cup here, so we need a 1/4 cup. There is a 1/4 cup. My lemon juice. Let's see how much we get out of here. Not a whole lot. All right, that's about a 1/4 cup. And again, I am going to use some grated lemon peel and just get that blended together. That. And to this, we're going to add a teaspoon onion powder, teaspoon garlic, teaspoon dried basil, teaspoon dried oregano, black pepper. All right, so a teaspoon. And it doesn't look like a lot, but that olive oil is going to get everywhere. Oh, that tastes incredible. You can taste that lemon juice and the basil. Oh, I think I'm just going to leave them plain because my husband and I like just plain. Actually, maybe I'll put a little salt and pepper in there. Salt, pepper, put some garlic, and onion powder. And we'll just put those in the freezer like that. All right, those two are down. Let's clean up and reset. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do is going to be hamburgers. I love a good hamburger. Can barely find a good hamburger, but I love a good hamburger. Again, don't like ground beef. I don't know. I get it. But I did find in the grocery store, and I've used for quite some time. I've used this for meatballs. I've used this for bolognese. I've used this for a smoked meatloaf. Um, I've used it, I think, once for hamburgers, but I can't remember if I did or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the beef and pork ground pack. I love these, but in like 6 months, it's gone up $2, which is ridiculous. But we're going to go ahead and do some ground beef and pork hamburgers, and we're going to freeze those. We're going to cook up the bacon and the onion, get everything mixed together. We're going to freeze them raw, and that way we can just throw them on the grill. If you don't know this, you can cook a frozen hamburger. So it's super easy, super simple, and they do not come out dry. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start chopping up our bacon. This is going to require bacon in it. I know it's already got pork in here, but I love the flavor of cooked bacon. And so we're going to get this started. We're going to get this all chopped up and start frying this up in our pan.
All right, so as you can
We're
tell,
not
my
going to put any
microphone went
kind
out yet
of
again. I think it's
oil in the pan
actually
or anything like that
because
for
I
the onion
babbled a lot.
because
But anyway,
bacon
so
grease
we're
is
here. We're going to be
heavenly.
doing our stirring up or frying up our bacon. Once the bacon's just about done, we're going to add in one small onion and get that all stir fried. And then you're going to strain it and let it cool. Do not put it in your dry mixture until that's cooled because again, there's egg in there and it'll scramble it and it'll make it a big pasty mess. So you'll get all that scrambled or fried, not scrambled, all fried up. And then you're going to mix your dry ingredients. Your dry ingredients are going to be listed in the description below. And again, if it calls for water, I always use chicken broth. So these are going to be those prepackaged spice marinades that you can find at the grocery store. They are fantastic options to use if you don't have the time to scroll, don't have the time to look for something, and really are, frankly, like me, a little brain dead when it comes to finding different ways to make the same staples. You can always mix them up. You can make tons of different items. You can do tacos, you can do shredded chicken burgers, you can do just so many different things. But these marinades make it so much easier. And you'll see later in the video why I tend to go a little stir crazy. You'll see two guests come in and really just take me for a run for my money. But anyway, so I've got this big chicken pack. I'm going to do three different marinades. First is going to be the green chicken verde sauce, which I always do. It's a staple in our home. And you can take that chicken and you can do so many different things with it. You can do tacos, you can do enchiladas, you can do soups, you can do just tons of different things. The second one that you're going to see is going to be a chipotle lime chicken, and then also my standard staple, which is the mojito lime. And it just makes it a whole lot easier to be able to cook and still get something that's tasty, especially when you get bored with the same proteins like I do.
All right, it is later in the afternoon. Everything has frozen. So we're gonna get all of this packed up. Ooh.
It's kind of gross.
What are we doing?
They wanted to be involved in the video. Will you keep this
I
in?
lied.
Will you keep this in?
Sure. Nobody wants to see up your nose.
Yeah, Julie.
No one saw up my nose.
She made a whole lot of meat when her daughter's a vegetarian. Huh. Not skimming, yeah. I'll be starving for the next 7 business days.
Probably.
Cut the camera.
What is this? I bought that. I bought the hearts. I bought that. I bought that. And I bought that.
But I couldn't get coffee?
Well, that was on Monday. Or Tuesday.
No, it wasn't on Monday because I was with you Monday. Or was that Tuesday?
That was Tuesday.
But I was with you Tuesday. So when did you buy
You
this?
weren't with me on Tuesday. You were with me on Monday.
You went out without me?
No, I did not.
That's betrayal.
Remember, Juliet's mad at you.
Yeah, I don't get why.
You gotta take one for the team, okay?
Can you move? Thanks, ma'am. Don't hit me with that. It's had meat on it. Oh!
I'll make sure I put that in there.
We need to document the child abuse.
I'm gonna cut my hand off.
We need to document the child abuse. Look at my crystals.
You can't get the burgers off.
This is bad YouTubermanship. This is
I
bad
know.
YouTubermanship.
I know, right?
He's gonna get demonetized.
I'm not one of those fancy pretty ones where everything's aesthetically pleasing.
Those ones are so boring. Every time I see one of their videos, I'm like, ugh, scroll.
Until you turn to my crazy ass.
Yeah, I live with it 24/7.
Oh, well, at least you watch them.
Yeah. That's true.
What's for dinner?
That's true.
What's for dinner?
At this point, who knows?
Can you make
Are
chicken
we supposed to
alfredo?
have burgers?
Please, no.
No,
I don't want to do burgers.
we're not doing burgers. You don't want what?
I don't have burgers time.
We're not making burgers. These are frozen burgers for another time.
Okay.
So I'll torment you the next time.
Can I not be home that day?
You live here.
You could take her with you.
Oh, where?
Is that me? Oh.
No,
It's the water, but I don't know if the water's done because it's not overflowing.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna get cold, so it's gonna ice over. So don't let it overflow.
Oh.
And
Gotta
then
go.
we put some in the
In the red one?
red one as well, just
red-
to top it off.
Ooh. Okay. So
we
hold on.
Come down to the
Can I have the
what are we
mic?
having for dinner?
Oh,
Can I have the mic? I need to
chicken,
talk to the viewers.
Korean chicken.
What am
What?
Okay. Let's talk to the viewers, okay? First bag of hamburgers. First bag of meatballs. Second bag of meatballs. Third. Fourth. I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat.
I have salmon in the freezer.
Ugh.
You don't like salmon?
No, she
That's
does not.
I like salmon.
That's why it's a small piece.
Whole lot of meat for a
Don't
family
forget
with.
all the chicken back here.
Oh! And all the countless chickens back there. And I'm a vegetarian.
I made you bagels.
Halfway.
Yeah, halfway. She doesn't even finish.
I haven't finished them. All right, get lost. Say bye.
Hi, viewers.
I gotta finish this last part.
Bye! There you go.
Thank you. All right, so as you can see, we've got 4 servings of meatballs, burger patties on the larger side, I get it. The 2 pork chops, our green chicken salsa verde, our chipotle lime chicken, our mojito lime chicken, and our Greek pork slices. So that is today. That's a lot, and that is gonna save me on everything as far as trying to think of something and not having to use any brain thought, because at the end of the day, sometimes I don't have any brains left. But a lot of different things you can do with these. You can take the meatballs and you can make them into the barbecue party meatballs. You can take the meatballs and bake them or put them in your bolognese or whatever. You've got your burgers, you've got all that pork, you've got the chicken, make tacos, make stir fry, all that fun stuff. So I think we did pretty good today. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you try something. Happy almost Valentine's Day. The Valentine's video is going to be coming. We're going to be doing a bunch of Valentine's candies and stuff like that. So I hope you tune in for that. And as always, if you enjoy my videos or my craziness or my insane stories, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.